Hello. It is now time to get our hands dirty and start doing some coding. So before we start writing the code, it is a good practice to be familiar with an environment which you can use for doing the coding. So there are many different ways of writing that particular code. You could just use a normal text editor. If you are on Windows, it could be, say, Notepad, or if you are on Linux, it could be gedit, right? So depending upon whatever environment, every environment will have a way to create text files, right? So you can use that software to write your code. However, it is generally useful to use what is known as an IDE for developing software or for writing code. IDE stands for Interactive Development Environment. Okay, so there are many different IDEs that are available. As part of this particular course, we will be using an IDE called Virtual C. Okay, so this Virtual C is a very lightweight, easy to use, easy to set up in IDE, which we will use to write our code. So after you have installed the software as per the instructions that are given to you in the reading material, so in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to set it up and how to make sure all the paths and everything is set up appropriately, all the options are set appropriately so that you can start writing the code. Okay, now for the demonstration purpose here, I am using a Windows machine. So if you have installed the software, it should appear as an icon which is called as Virtual C, as you can see here. So I'm going to double click that and launch it. So as soon as you launch the IDE, so this is what the screen that you will see. So you will see that there is some default code that is already present here. So let me give you a quick overview of the different sections of the particular screen that you are seeing. Okay, so this is the general coding area. Okay, so this is where you will actually type the code that you have written. So there is this area called messages. So this is where the compilation errors, linker errors, or any messages that is coming when you are trying to compile the programs, they are displayed here. Okay, and console is the place where any input-output operations that you do as part of your program gets displayed. Okay, so at this point in time, these are the three important areas that you'll have to keep track of, right? So one is the area where you will type the code. Second is the area where you will get to see the messages displayed by the compiler, or in fact Virtual C, the IDE itself. And zone 3 is where, which is called as the console, is the region where your own input-output statements will operate. Okay, let me also highlight a few things which you may want to set up as part of your menu. So one of the important settings that you may want to look at before you get started is this under settings, you will see that there is something called as your set Virtual C default path. Okay, when you click on it, so it shows the path which you have configured to save your code, right? The default path where you have saved the code, you can save pretty much wherever you want, but having it consistently in one place makes it easier. In fact, the first time you launch Virtual C, it will ask what is the default path. So you could have set it at that point in time, or if you want to do it later, or you want to change it later, you can go to the settings menu and then choose that particular thing. Okay, in my case, I have already set it, so I'm just going to press cancel. Okay, so that is pretty much all that is needed to set it up. There are many other menu items under, say, edit, build, debug, and so on. I will give you an introduction to appropriate menu items as we go through this particular course. But for now, this is good enough to get started.